Hey guys, welcome to NitroRCX.com, where you can find tons of radio-controlled cars, trucks, and boats. Today we're looking at the Tacon line of radio-controlled cars. They're all ready to run right out the box. They're the brushed Tacon 114 and 112 scale brushed cars. Now we did a review on the same cars but brushless. If you want to check those out, be sure to check out the links below. Today we're going to focus on the brushed version. They're a little more entry level, a little bit lower price than the brushless versions, but don't be wary of them. You can always upgrade them. If you don't think they're fast enough, you can always upgrade the brushless motors, the speed controllers up to a brushless level. Now let's take a look at what we got here. We have 4 different models. We have a buggy, monster truck, a rally car, and a short course truck. So before we take a closer look at the body styles and the chassis and suspension components, let's take a look at the radio system you're going to get with it. As mentioned before, they are 2.4 gigahertz ready to run out the box. The only thing you're going to need to run these cars is 4 AA batteries for your controller. Going over the controller, it's a pistol grip controller, 2.4 gigahertz frequency, which means you can run a bunch of them at the same time. You don't have to worry about being on each other's frequency. It is frequency hopping, FHSS, 2.4 gigahertz from Tacon. 1100 nickel metal battery, 6 cell. Now I would recommend getting a better charger if you want to keep running these. It does take a little bit longer to charge with the basic charger that it comes with. Check out the AC680, for example, from NitroRCX.com. Great charger that charges a lot faster, but it does come with a basic charger. What else do you get in the box? You get tools. You get a bind plug, and you also get tools to adjust your suspension and work on your tires and wheels. So diving into the cars, we have the rally car and the short course truck. I'm doing these two first because they do have a wider wheelbase compared to the little monster truck and the little buggy. They are very similar. The rally car is, however, 1/12 scale, according to Tacon, and the short course truck is 1/14 scale, but they are about the same size. Love how this rally car looks. They both come in these white and black colors. They also come in red. They also come in blue. Let's move the short course truck aside and take a closer look at this rally car. Beautiful rally car. Notice the body styling. Spoiler on the back. You have a nice aerodynamic front end. Kind of reminds me of a Fiesta or maybe a Peugeot rally car. Beautiful polycarbonate body. Let's remove that and take a closer look at the insides. So moving on to the chassis. As mentioned before, it's a longer chassis than the little cars. I can just grab one right here to show you guys a comparison. Shorter wheelbase, longer wheelbase. Longer wheelbase I kind of like, especially for those power slides, drifting. You want that longer wheelbase. Let's take a look at these tires. Rally-inspired tires. Look at those wheels, knobby little tires with a good tread pattern for dirt work, for gravel work, and for pavement work. Onto the chassis. Full composite chassis compared to the brushless versions. What I like about this chassis is that it's a lot lighter. This chassis is definitely lighter than the brushless aluminum versions. Now if you don't like the composite chassis, you can always swap to the aluminum chassis. If you somehow snap it, break it, you can swap to the aluminum chassis if you'd like. But if you get the brush version, I would stick to the plastic chassis, throw in the brushless system on there, and you might even actually go a little bit faster because of the lighter weight, maybe even jump higher. Let's take a look at the suspension components and the drivetrain. You're getting coiled adjustable shocks, oil-filled front and rear. They adjust on the fly with these preload collars. So you can just preload, give it more preload, less preload. You have ride height adjustment front and rear on the arms, so you can lower it or you can raise the rally car. And you have geared differentials front and rear. Shaft-driven four-wheel drive, you can see that aluminum red shaft going from the front to rear. And it does have a slipper system towards the rear back here that you can adjust. Brushed 380 motor provides power to this vehicle, and you have a brushed ESC. As mentioned before, it does take lithium batteries, 2-cell maximum. You do have to jump this little blue jumper if you're going to use 2-cell lithium polymer batteries. I recommend using those. It gives you a little bit more runtime, a little bit more power, and just generally better performance out of a lithium compared to a nickel. Steering duties are handled by a Solar D655 servo digital up front. It does have a servo saver attached to it, so if you accidentally hit a curb, hit some rocks, it's not going to strip out the servo. Your servo saver is going to take care of that. More onto the drivetrain. You got metal dog bones front and rear. The suspension is adjustable, fully adjustable front and rear. You can adjust progressiveness of the shocks via the shock towers. You can move them in or out, linear or progressive. You have adjustable camber rods on the front and rear, and you have adjustable tie rods on the front to either tow it in or tow it out. Notice the bumper on this chassis, foam bumper on the front. You don't really have a bumper on the back. It is a rally car. If you do smack something, that's a pretty robust front bumper that's going to take that impact. Moving on to the short course truck, similar size to that rally car we just saw. Beautiful looking truck, looks almost scale. Look at that massive front bumper on the front. Massive front bumper on the rear. Love the mud flaps. Short course styling at its best. Let's pull the cover off. Again, as mentioned before, this does come in this white and black paint scheme, which I like. It also comes in red or blue. Pull the body shell off and you're going to notice, hey, the chassis looks the same as the rally car. Well, it is pretty much the same. If you wanted to convert this to the rally car, all you got to do is remove the bumper, swap out the front bumper, swap out the tires, change some of your suspension settings to lower it, and you have a rally car. Of course, you're going to want different body posts so that you can mount that rally body. But let's take a quick look at the differences on the short course truck. I'm not going to go over the chassis and the electronics because those are pretty much exactly the same along with the radio that it comes with. All the adjustments are the same. What's different here is massive bumpers on the front. Look at that impact absorption on the front bumper. Short course racing, a lot of bumping, a lot of bumping around when you're on the track, or a lot of off-roading. You're going to want big bumpers to protect that body shell. Let's take a look at the back. Large bumper, mud flaps. I love those scaled mud flaps, especially when dirt's flying out the back of them. Looks awesome. What else is different on the short course truck? The tires. Check out these knobby, large diameter tires. Short course styling at its best. Check out the rims. Look at the knobs, the tread on the tire. Very squishy, a little bit softer compound. The foam inside these tires are a little bit softer to cater for off-road performance. So we have the little monster truck and the little buggy. These are 1/14 scale. As mentioned before, they have a shorter wheelbase than the two you saw before. They're very similar in chassis, but setup is very different for two very different purposes. Let's focus on the monster truck for now and move the buggy out the way. Notice the monster truck. Very large diameter tires. It has the largest tire of the bunch. Very sticky, very soft tires to climb over many things, rocks, grass. If you want to have the least difficulty driving around and climbing over things, the monster truck is your bet. It has the highest ground clearance. You're going to be climbing over gravel, rocks, grass, sand. It's going to do well in all those conditions. Beautiful pickup truck styling. This one's the blue version. We have it in red or the black and white. Let me lift off the cover here. Love the fender flares on that truck. Anyways, let's move that out the side. Chassis, it's going to be shorter. Again, composite chassis. It's going to be a shorter chassis. You'll notice the electronics are a little more cramped up. The speed controller is now moved up top on the top plate. I'm not going to go over the electronics because it is the same for all four of these cars. But you have a better view of the brushed ESC right here, and you have a better view of that jumper pin. If you're going to use a LiPo battery, you want to make sure you move that jumper pin over so you don't damage your LiPo battery and drain it too low. Same servo, same adjustments. What's different on this little monster truck? These massive tires. Take a closer look at those massive tires. Very soft compound, very sticky compound, aggressive treaded pattern. Front and rear bumpers on this truck aren't as big as the short course truck, but the tires are doing most of the protecting of the body and the chassis on this truck. Again, you have adjustable suspension. This isn't its highest. You can also raise it just a little more. And you have all the same adjustments compared to the rally car or the short course truck. So that covers the monster truck. Let's take a look at the race purpose buggy. Check this buggy out. It's all about business, racing. Very sleek body. Notice how it's very sleek and compact. Big old wing on the back for downforce. No silly designs on the rims. It's all about business. Yellow in color so you can see where your buggy's going, especially when you're on the track. It has the lowest ground clearance of all the cars. This is a race-built buggy. No bumpers, of course. It is for racing. Let's pull off the shell and show you guys the inside of the chassis. It's going to be the same chassis as that monster truck, very lightweight. Again, if you want to upgrade this, you also can upgrade to the aluminum chassis from the brushless version. Everything is upgradable. You can even convert this little buggy to the monster truck if you get the body posts, the bumpers, and the tires. But this one's race built, race purpose. Everything's adjustable. You can even add sway bars on there. Knobby tires up front and up rear. Kind of an offsetted tires. The rear is a little bit wider than the front for that handling. This is the most agile handling car out of the bunch. It's got the shortest wheelbase. It's quick, it's fast, it turns on a dime, and it's a great racer. Perfect for you guys building tracks out in your backyard. Get 2 of these, 3 of these, 4 of these, and start your own races, your own club races. I'll show you guys the chassis again. Very sleek, very light, very easy to work on. All the screws on here are metric, so if you're going to get a tool set for these, make sure you get a metric tool set. And I love to see Allen screws. You're not seeing Phillips head screws, you're seeing Allen screws, which are easier to work with, less hard to strip out. Look at that massive wing on the back. Closer look at that wing. You can drill different holes on the wing to mount the wing forward and back to change your downforce. And everything is adjustable as mentioned before. Love this buggy. It's one of my favorites. So that was a quick look at the Tacon brushed cars. You saw the rally car, you saw the short course truck, the little monster truck, and the race spec buggy. If you want more detailed specs and pictures, head on over to NitroRCX.com. Remember, you can always upgrade these if you think they're a little bit slower, or if you want them to be faster, you can always upgrade them. You can make them super fast. Check out our boats, check out our other trucks. Be sure to tune in to NitroRCX.com for the latest and newest products on radio control.